Imagine how 10 years from now, your career in IT services would be. Think about it for 5 seconds and answer in the comments box. I was just having a conversation with a mid-40s individual about how his career is going, and he told me something which is on everybody's mind. He said that he's really unsure if he loses his job right now, if he can make money, if he will have another job at all or not. Well, I thought this question is very common now for folks who are in their mid-30s or even early 40s. Forget about the folks in 50s. It is common at a relatively younger age group as well. But in this video, I just want to break that myth. I believe there are multiple ways in which you can make money irrespective of your 30s, 40s, IT career, non-IT career. The job market is changing, that is for sure. And we need to adopt. And we'll talk about the 4 things which will help you adopt to this unstable job market. And let's start with 2 criteria. Number 1, I want to make sure that you are realistic about how the next 10 years are going to pan out, and also move forward with a little bit of optimism. And number 2, a lot of things are coming based on my conversations with different people. So I hope I cover a lot of ground with respect to the issues and also potential solutions. And the first point that I want to start off with is the job recruitment channels are changing. This fact will actually shock you. In the US, 30 to 50% of the jobs are filled through referrals. Yes, 30 to 50% of the jobs are filled through referrals. If you are not active and if you are not searching for a job through a referral, then you are not even looking at 50% of the market. This is not just in the US. This is also happening in India. A good friend recently applied to more than 7 to 8 companies, Microsoft, ServiceNow, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, a bunch of other companies, and he only got interview calls from the companies where he applied through referrals. All the companies through referrals, he got an interview call. And all the companies that he didn't apply through referral but directly went to website or through LinkedIn, not even a single call. It doesn't mean that jobs don't exist. It means you need to have that referral. And how do you build that referral? Of course, I would say, hey, go build that network. And you would say, hey, I've tried building that network. I tried dropping a lot of cold messages, but never ever I got a response. So there are 3 or 4 things that you need to keep in mind. Number 1, make sure you at least restart the conversations with some of your ex-colleagues. They know you, you know them, at least a bit of understanding of your backgrounds even before you send your resume, right? So do not ignore those prior colleagues. Number 2 is the folks with whom you studied your undergrad, BTech, or even masters. Good friends, again, you know each other, so it's not a cold message per se. The third one is being proactive when you are in a good position. If you come across people who are searching for a job, just do some digging and help them connect with some of your people in your network. If you are helping them out today, they will remember you, right? I do remember the folks who helped me in my bad times. So please do not ignore these things and then get started with your cold messaging. You will be a little more comfortable and also confident at that point because you already have a decent established network at that point in time. The second thing that is changing in the job market is the technology stack. Forget about learning a new technology, but understand some of the technologies that you are working right now could be outdated. Just again a simple example. If you get a job offer from Oracle and ServiceNow, which one would you pick? Just take 5 seconds and think about it. In the current market, there is a lot of ecosystem that has been developed for the developers who are working on ServiceNow products. So if you are working in ServiceNow for 5 years and if you step out, there is a lot of work, there are a lot of job opportunities. But the same can't be said about some of the other companies over here. You might be living in a bubble and you might say that, hey, I do have a good job right now. So when I leave, this skill set might be valued. No, you don't know. You need to get an understanding about your skill set if it is relevant in the market. If the stack that you are working on is still relevant in the market, and how do you figure it out? The only way is being in the job market. Making sure that you apply to different companies at least once every 6 to 8 months, and you will realize how many interview calls you are getting. I'm not at all saying that, hey, go change your job, but at least understand the demand for your profile. The third thing that I also want to highlight is, if possible, again a big if, reduce the dependency on your current income. And how can you do that? There are two ways. Number one is getting that 6-month emergency fund, making sure that if you don't have the job, you are searching for a job with a little bit more stable and calm mindset and not rushing through a lot of interviews. But also, if you can plan for a secondary income source. How is that secondary income source possible? What you can do around it? Different things. The spectrum is huge and wide. The opportunities are available. It will take a long time to make money through a secondary income source, but the time is always well spent. Some really offbeat examples that I want to share with you. A friend in Hyderabad is basically importing pickles that his mom is making in Rajasthan, and he's selling to a few families. It's not a large scale. He's not connecting with any packagers. He's not going out and marketing in different apartment complexes. Just within his apartment, within his block, he's selling it to 10 to 20 people. It's just for fun. He's making a little bit of money, not much at all, but he's also improving his network at the same time. And he wants to do something big in the coming years. Another friend is trying to learn how to manufacture kids' toys. Now, these are small initiatives, but slowly they will become big. A person is teaching karate to a group of 15 to 20 people, some arts and science. You can probably start with some video lectures. Nobody will watch it. Trust me. You go back and watch some of my earlier YouTube videos, hardly 300-400 people have watched it. So it will take time. I have been making videos continuously non-stop on my OnePlus for about 2 years now. And it takes time, but you will find traction if you fundamentally believe in it. And you need to. Because this secondary income source is difficult. That does not mean you should stop from exploring that angle. It means that you need to stick with it, persist with it for a much longer time. That is where your optimism about this entire secondary income source should kick in. And you do it in your good times, just with a lot of fun. The fourth one is about maintaining strong personal relationships. They can strain you. If you bring your professional and personal life together, these relationships could get strained. We can't avoid these negative situations, but we could also enjoy the positive moments. And the other partner of yours, the parents, the other friends and family, everybody will add to that positive angle within your own ecosystem. So do not ignore, end of the day, your personal relationships, because whether the job stays with you or not doesn't really matter, because you can go and develop that secondary source of income. But relationships do stay with you, and that is the only positive that you will be looking forward 10-20 years from now. See you guys, and I look forward to meeting you again in the next one. Bye bye.